My name is Sharday Harold. I am 31 years old and I am a single working mom. I believe that, I think they heard it. I just want to talk about my experience with becoming a homeowner. Like the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, everything. Like I think 2015, November, I ended a big chapter in my life. So it put things in perspective and made me think like, I want something that's gonna be big for me and my son, something that's gonna be impactful. And I thought right away, I'm tired of these apartments, I'm tired of these condos, I'm tired of paying this rent. That's all we do, especially in our culture and demographically. So I was like, I wanna be a homeowner. I only spoke of it. I just talked about it. I didn't pray about it. I wanna get me a house, not knowing what the process was going in. So I want to say like November, I remember like a few years ago, I saw Janine like at the mall or something like that. And she had me a card like saying, oh, I'm a realtor, I work in real estate. I'm just like, who doesn't work in real estate? Who don't give you their card? It was probably like 50 people that I knew in my church that do real estate. So I was just like, oh, okay. But this again was years ago. I never even thought about being a homeowner. And some of the main things you have to think about is your budget, your saving, your income. I wasn't that. I wasn't disciplined in that way. Yes, I have a great job, but I have savings for my son. I never really saved money. And who in our culture really does? Like, no, we're not disciplined, especially if you don't have the upbringing, especially if it's something that's not embedded in you. And generationally, I just never thought to save substantial amounts of money. I lived for the moment, but I had to think about my son's future. So once that chapter ended, I wanted to become a homeowner. I wanted to enter another chapter in my life that my son can learn from and also take for his own soon. So at this time, I was only 30 years old. My son was only 5. And I decided to call Janine. Just basically a typical phone call. Again, we haven't seen each other in years, just maybe via Facebook or anything. But I met her actually about 10 years ago. But it's a very interesting process because I told her that I wanted to buy a house, and right away, the way she made me feel, it was like she really don't do people that she know personally, or you know, she take her professionalism and her job serious. So I knew that I would be a special client, a special case, because one, she knows me. Two, a lot of us don't have these opportunities and really want to really do it and do the legwork. And it's funny because she was the person that pretty much gave me all the pieces to the puzzle. Once I contacted her, she let me know, hey, you got to know where your credit score is. How much money do you have in your bank account? You know, what kind of house do you really want to buy in what area? I didn't know all of those things, you know, matters. I'm just like, okay, I thought the people just give me a check, whatever. Y'all, my credit score, let's just start there. It was in the 500s. It was about nothing. And we talking about, I'm like, okay, I felt like, because all you do is just buy stuff, keep it moving. It was never nothing satisfactory on my credit that really kept me there, besides my car note, of course. And people always say you're supposed to get a home before you get before you get a car. I got a car. So I was being mentored from one of my advisors about the work on my budget, but we're always in and out, going to school, in and out, never consistent, student loans, everything was on my credit, y'all. Like, I was like, really? So right away, I was discouraged. I was hit with some obstacles that I thought I could never accomplish this, and that's when you get doubtful. But I'm telling y'all, my faith allowed this process, and of course Janine having just as much as faith as me, and she said, I can feel this for you. This is going to be big. You're going to do this. So we talking November, knowing what my credit score is, knowing now what I got to work on. Again, her giving me the pieces of the puzzle to get with the loan officers to then see where they can work with. Where is my credit score? Of course, they turned me down like, oh, you're not ready, work on this. However, they connected me to a company. Again, she gave me a piece of the puzzle. This company literally worked on my credit score, and literally in March of 2016, you do the math, I was pre-qualified with my loan for my house. So it was amazing. Not to mention I did get baptized in December. I think they helped. Thank you, Jesus. But okay, so basically, like, it's so much I can say because the process was so strenuous. It was stressful, but again, it was all worth it. Literally at the point, once I got my pre-qualification, not pre-approval, pre-qualification, I had started to get my ducks in a row. But then here it comes. You really got to know where you want to stay, where you're going to live, what area. And me being a single mother with a young child, a lot of people don't know that my son has special needs. He has some deficiencies to where you have to be mindful of where you put him and where you have him. It's gonna bother me. So I pretty much got to the process of where now it's like, okay, my son is already in kindergarten. He's already on an individual educational plan. Now I'm getting pessimistic, thinking like, okay, if I switch him up, because I don't want to be in this area because the homes are super expensive. So I gave her 3 options. I was like, let's look in the Apopka area, let's look in the Kissimmee area, and let's look in the Metro West area where I've lived for the past 5 to 7 years. So of course we already know what area was more cost efficient, but again, you have to be mindful of your children. Also, what she taught me in this process is demographically, you have to know if your child will be in a school that's A+. You have to know if they're not, are you going to be paying a tuition for your child to go to a private school, but you're paying taxes and live in a house in an area that's not as great. So we checked houses out in Apopka, Ocoee area, Kissimmee. I literally started with townhomes. The HOA fees were ridiculous. Like, she taught me so much in the process, and it's pretty much like you have to get something that's marketable, something that, Sade, you are a single mother. If you get married, would your husband want to be here? Will you be able to rent this home out for a substantial amount to where you can still go off and build with your husband? So I had to keep so many things in mind, but my main focus, I put my son first. And I said, you know what? Let's resurface, let's go back to Metro West. I'm just gonna go with big faith that I can find something in this bracket of what I had with this price point. And we started looking at so many different townhomes, so many different things. And at this point, I'm just like, I was getting discouraged. It was expensive, like it was. So I remember us saying townhomes is not the best for me. The condos is not the best for me. I don't want HOA fees. Again, it's only one income. I pretty much only have what I have to work with. So we said, let's start looking at some traditional single family homes. I kid you not, the amount of time she spent with me and invested with me, we were at the type of late hours to where her children would come, because my availability was so tight because of the therapies my son had to take, me working full-time, me being involved in church. It was so much to where we would both have our children looking at homes. And I knew right then, like, this is not about a transaction. This is not about a check for her. This is not about a story. It was, I really want to help you because I want to help us. And I knew at this point, okay, I know my area. I know I want to keep my son in his school for stability, to keep him on the individual educational plan that he's on. And I looked at about 2 or 3 homes in the Metro West area. The price point was a little high, but again, everything still worked out for the best. When I finally saw my home and I knew that it was mine, like the moment I walked in this beautiful house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. The backyard, yeah, it probably sounds crazy, but the backyard was so huge. All I could think of is my son, who has occupational issues, who's had language art issues, language fluency. He's now diagnosed with ADHD. I'm just like, this backyard is where a child would want to grow. Well, you would want to build, and he can have so much fun. You can have parties there. You don't have to, like, I literally had to really discipline myself in this process, and I knew that was my house. Even though we had 2 more to look at, that was the house. I knew it, and she knew it too. Like it was so personal for her. She was just like, this is the one. So once I knew that, the real stuff had to hit in. Like, okay, now you have your house, you have your loan. I learned the process of what you call down payment. Hello, somebody. And again, me being a single mother, not just having money sitting in my bank account, not just having the best budgeting and discipline process, no. I literally had to discipline myself. I had to strip. I'm talking about I went a whole 6 months with no bundles. Actually, that disciplined me so much so I haven't had any bundles all year. Me, nails, bling, eating. I barely have time to cook. Like, I eat out, we have takeout, we spend so much food on takeout. Like, it was to the process to where I was like, I'm not even cute no more. Like, I was just losing myself. Like, I didn't feel like Sade, like, cause I didn't have my bundles. I didn't have my hair down my back. Like, and I would encourage anybody, you have to do some things you never did before to get something you never had. And I really had to discipline myself because the people around me in my circle didn't level me up. They couldn't help me. I had to help myself, and it wasn't for God, and it wasn't for Janine, I would have never been able to do this. And I think that it was a humbling point in my life to where I was like, I gotta do this for my son. And I did research that children in owned properties are more academically successful. They're more confident. They are not all over the place at this person's house in these apartments. See, they have their own room, they have their own space. They're confident in school to tell their friends that they have this bedroom, they have that. And I knew the moment I took my son to that house, just in contract with the home, and I knew he would love it. I knew it would be everything I wish it could be, and it was amazing. So I don't even know what to say at this point, but it was like, I don't know, I've been talking forever, but just Janine alone, the process with her, she made it so much more easier, even though I felt that it was probably harder on her because she took it personal. And it was homes, and it can be a big price tag, and I can like it, but she's like, no, your son, look at that lake, look at this, like, she got real with me. It was to the point she taught me all the things you need to know. So it was to the point where I would go to home, no, I don't think this will work for me. My son, well, I'm thinking about set, like, she taught me, like, I can work for her now. But it was amazing. And I'm at the point to where I'm now paying it forward for not just single mothers, just for women, just for African American. Like, who you know can do this, like, by yourself. It was an amazing process, and it was a great learning experience. My son, like, my baby, he be like, mommy, let's go home. He always want to go home now. It's like, usually he want to go to TT mama house, want to go to my sister's house, my mama house. Mommy, let's go to our house. You know, like, and it just makes me like feel like like, yeah, this our house. This is ours. Like, you can go to your room, it's just amazing. The house is beautiful. Like, I can't even like start to just, so it was amazing. And I thank God for allowing this God-sent angel that I met 10 years ago. Never thought I would, 10 years later, wanting to get a house, going through her, when it's so many people that sells real estate. It was about you buying into the person and also feeling comfortable with that person, and they had your best interest. And she really, being a mother, being an African American, being the Olivia Pope of real estate, that's what I call her now. She just made me square up. Like, she made me want this really, literally, it was not about just getting in the house, closing, signing, and just, okay, I can go back to my old ways. No, look at my hair now. I ain't got no bundles. Look at my nails. I ain't got no blinged out $70, $85 nails. Like, I changed a lot, and I did it to better myself and for my son's future. And this is the biggest investment of your life. And I did this at the age of 30 as a single mother with a 5-year-old son. Now I'm 31, now he's 6, and it hasn't even, it's been 3-4 months. Like, I'm telling y'all, I'm ready to have Thanksgiving dinner at my house comfortably. So I'm excited, like, and it was the most strenuous, stressful, like, you want it to the point where you want to give up. You can be down to your last $1,000 and you want to give up. That'd be a whole nother video when it comes to finances, cause baby, but it's just, she never let me quit. It was like, no, like, no. And she's selling houses to people in Windmill with big price tags. It was just like, it wasn't about that for her. And that's what made the process, like, anybody I would probably send to her will see it. And I know everybody's situation is different, but she made it even better. Like, she made it less stressful, because you get those inspectors that make you don't want to buy the house no more. It's like everything would just make you be like, what? Well, why? But she was professional at all times, and no matter how personable we were, she kept it real with me. She really gave me the motivation to say, no, you're gonna do this, and I know you're gonna do it. That's okay. If we had a hurdle, she was like, okay, no, we're gonna fix it. It's gonna happen. No, it's okay, Sade, we're gonna, because you need those people. You need those people in your life, and we don't have people that cheer for us and want. You have people that don't want you to do good. So you have to first believe in yourself and discipline yourself. Save the money. Like, right now, if you're thinking about getting the house, think about your budget. Think about your bank account. Think about the things that you have to now say, I can't do that anymore. You have to say no to a lot of things, but it's gonna be worth